Okay, thank you for sharing the introduction of technology industry. So for the macro overview, so this is the business cycle graph, and it has two segments to it. So the contraction and the expansion, and it usually lasts about 10 years. So starting from the peak, stocks that does well, and industries like oil and gas, retail, hospitality, commercial, and industrial. And then at the bottom of the cycle favors defensive stocks such as and health sorry not stocks industries such as healthcare, data centers, supermarkets. Yeah, moving on, we have some examples of macro overview such as the pandemic, COVID-19, that affects economy, but in this case, it deviates away from financial markets. So it reacts differently from the financial markets versus the economy. So in the economy, unemployment rate is sky high, especially in the United States. And aviation industries, travel agencies, and car rentals, hotels are all being disrupted. For global tension, the Asian region, India, bans 59 Chinese apps, and these big apps are like TikTok, WeChat, PUBG. And to add on, US to ban WeChat, and Oracle buys over TikTok's US operations that cost about 10 billion to 50 billion USD. And lastly, for the emerging markets, Asian region gains the most influence, followed by Latin America and Africa. But the profound countries are actually Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, and especially China emerging at a phenomenal rate ever since the early 90s. So moving on, we have transport and logistic industry. So these three industries are examples that works around technology. So for transport, currently countries are facing traffic congestion issues, and most cities are aiming to achieve smart city integration plans by year 2030. Example, car sharing, autonomous driving, and seamless mobility would actually boost efficiency. So seamless mobility would rely on self-driving shared vehicles configured with smart integrated public transport infrastructure. And private sector firms like Google, Baidu have invested millions of dollars into seamless mobility. And then in the finance and banking industry, Singapore-based DBS Bank opened DigiBank that uses virtual assistants to anticipate and reply to customer inquiries. So this actually uses computer instead of operators, human operators. And then there are opportunities such as utilizing AI functions in credit scoring systems that will develop value and create opportunities to create new skills and fintech startups to actually innovate. So governments and authorities should also step up on legislative regulations to protect consumer data in the finance industry. And for lastly, healthcare, MGI research companies estimate that utilizing data in the healthcare sector could reduce national healthcare spending by about 8%. So that's a lot of savings. And countries face problems with large populations where a shortage of doctors and specialists are actually critical. So startups are offering online doctor consultations and at-home diagnostics with the help of wearable sensors. And also healthcare issues, we do face security issues and these piracy, sorry, invasive threats. Okay, moving on to the next slide. We we have big market players with Amazon that has a market capitalization of 1.72 trillion US dollars. Amazon provides retail sale of consumer products and subscriptions in North America and globally as well. So it engages in three segments: the North America, International, and Amazon Web Services. A large portion of Amazon's revenue comes from Amazon Web Services in the B2C and B2B sectors. So moving on to Tencent, being one of China's tech giant, dominates the gaming industry, fintech, and other areas that focuses on AI, artificial intelligence. Industries integrated to education, transport, healthcare, and retail. So similar to what I explained on the previous slide. So Tencent also invests heavily onto other profound firms like Spotify, Tesla, Uber, Snapchat, and 100% into Riot Games. Lastly, Alibaba operates its business in People's Republic of China and internationally as well. So through its subsidiaries, it provides online and mobile commerce business. Its four segments of operations are mainly core commerce, core computing, digital media and entertainment and innovation initiatives, and also others. So moving on, I'll be talking about market player. So Kai Jun will be talking about these three companies.
Yeah, thanks. So to add on to the previous three company that Nick mentioned on, Tesla itself is actually within, like I mentioned, out of the IT industry, there is multiple sectors. So Tesla is actually within the green industry, green sectors, the automation, machine learning, AI, driverless, as well as big data itself. And the reason why I say that is because Tesla is actually not only offering electric vehicle, but at the very same time they're actually developing on their artificial intelligence aspect to help I would say park, drive, get a person safer from one location to another. And it's actually been shown based on statistics that their driverless driving itself is actually 40% safer comparatively to another human behind the wheel. However, that also doesn't mean that it's accident free. It's just that it's 40% safer. And then with regards to their big data and the machine learning and stuff like that, they do actually record with regards to how driver actually operate their vehicle under various circumstances, like maybe high traffic, low traffic, certain time of the day. And like from there on they can use this data to price in the future, in terms of insurance wise, to price it I would say competitively, as well as like appropriately, given the current circumstances or the type of drivers they are, based on what they have actually collected on as well. So regards to Square, it's pretty straightforward. Actually, they are a digital wallet, similar to in Singapore context like GrabPay and stuff like that. As for Microsoft, everyone will understand they are a multinational tech company. But what I want people to focus on is their advance in terms of the healthcare aspect. They're actually trying to, I won't say deter AWS, but I would say to compete with AWS in terms of the cloud servicing aspect. They're also trying to use AI, to make healthcare better, creating, a space for the healthcare operators and the patients to for consultation and to actually operate under a safer environment, at the same time more efficiency in this aspect. So Nick will actually cover on the SWOT analysis. So yeah.
Okay, for the SWOT analysis, the strength and weakness, we do see a very fast pace and exponential growth in certain areas due to the large scale integration in most and certain industries with high and fast rate of adaptation and keeping up with the paradigm shift to integrating tech into their business. Enhancing our day-to-day activities could save a lot of time and boost efficiency and effectiveness, providing savings for firms. Plus, affordable cloud computing services could also mean better profits for business, as economies of scale could benefit the flexibility in classifying costs in business. Lastly, we do see a lot of opportunities in the Asian region as an emerging market. However, we have threats and weakness that undermines some areas where it could kill jobs in some industries, as automation takes over as there are low barriers to entry. The European Union authorities question on Google's acquisition on Fitbit, as there are fears to the exploitation and breaches to personal data, risking privacy and ethical issues. With the heated trade war going on currently with US and China, tech firms like ByteDance, Huawei, and Tencent faces political risk that may affect investments externally. So when talking about Tesla, Singapore also is researching into air taxi. So like Volocopter, this company is researching heavily using cloud services, basically everything about technology. And they want to implement air taxi as early as 2021. So these will actually affect many jobs, especially taxis. So overall, moving on, we'll be sharing on our research on two sectors within the information and technology industry.